Well, good afternoon. Once again, John here from Recovery for Life. And Joni, we're delighted you could be with us today to help with the Tyne Models Support Through Talk campaign for mental health. Joni, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, let's do the basics. My name is Joni, I'm 30, I'm a local lad from Lowfell in Gateshead. And when I heard about this wellbeing campaign that Tyne Models were doing, I really wanted to get involved. It's a topic that's very close to home and I'm very passionate about.
Okay, that's great. So tell us about yourself. What do you do for a living, and how have you ended up being here?
Okay, so my profession, I'm a sales and events executive for a nightclub in Newcastle. But the reason why I kind of got involved into this was when I was 20, I found out that my father, who passed away when I was 7, I was told that it was because of something else, but it turns out it was actually committed suicide. So for a long time, I was very, very angry against it. You know, anyone who committed suicide, I thought was selfish. And then, you know, quite a lot of friends committed suicide. And I refused to go to the funeral until one day, a friend of mine, Tiago, he passed away. I was told it was suicide. I refused to go to his funeral. And then I found out afterwards that it was misinformation. I was misinformed, so I never got to say goodbye to a friend because of the way that I was ignorant of the situation.
Right.
So then I decided to turn it around and wanted to help.
And do you mind me asking, how long ago was that?
That was only in 2016.
Right. So recent.
Yeah. So I've just been trying to do as much as I can to make up for time of me being ignorant and angry.
Well, but to be honest, you can't beat yourself up for that. Unfortunately, the purpose of this campaign is to draw awareness to this, these sort of issues. And unfortunately, the biggest problem quite often is people don't know how to cope and deal with when they find out that a loved one has taken their own life, or hurt themselves in other ways, be it with drugs or alcohol or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, do you mind me asking, how did you feel when you found out that your father had taken his life?
I was told that in his note that he had nothing but love for me, and I found out I had a brother as well. Let's not go there, but he had nothing but like love for me and my brother, and I was just like, well, that's bullcrap. Like, how can you take your own life and then say that I had nothing but love for your kids, kind of thing? It's just so I was just filled with anger. I hated him, resented him, and you know. Had very dark feelings towards him, but as I said, with regards to my friend that passed away, that's when I turned it around and I started actually to educate myself on mental health. Right. And obviously my father got himself in trouble, which resulted in to him doing what he did, but obviously he was very depressed and very alone. So with me educating myself on mental health, etc., and being able to understand people that are going through it and not judge them, and you know, not be one of those people that that ignore the stigma around mental health and depression, etc., and actually be someone there to actually for them to talk to me and listen and give them advice and point them in the right direction. Like when I did the Mr. Gay England campaign for Europe, so I focus on suicide prevention. Right. And obviously you'll know yourself that LGBT youth is a massive figure. Absolutely. Especially trans kids. So, you know, from moving on from there, I then sort of educated other delegates in the competition of how they should then use their social media. Because when you become a sort of figure in the eye, you know, you get a lot of inboxes. Like I get inboxes from people in Thailand and the Philippines thinking like, asking for advice of how they should come out to the parents and being gay, you know, and that they're lonely, and you know, and thinking about, you know, the shame they'll get from the family, they're going to take their life. So I spent a lot of my time educating the delegates on how they should go forth and help those when they come to them.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Just to draw something on, and has this process helped you reconcile yourself towards your father's?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I now actually go and visit his grave. I never used to. Right. I've sort of reconnected with my brother over him. You know, I want my long lost brother. I want us to reconnect so that we can continue with Dad's name now. Whereas, given 3 years ago, I would have been like, nah, I want nothing to do with him. So.
No, well, that's really so. And is that helping you sort of healing on yourself as well, though? Has this helped you? Not just about your relationships, but internally. I mean, because there's a lot of struggle, there's a lot of trauma around, particularly in childhood when you have a death. So how has that sort of, do you think, influenced your life, and what's it doing for you now? Because you're doing really positive stuff now that's coming out. But what about you, the inner you?
I mean, I do put up a front a lot, that's for sure. Yeah. You know, the happy, smiley Johnny that you see on social media, behind closed doors, you know, I can have my days where, you know, I don't say I suffer from depression, anxiety, I get that, but I think everyone gets that. But, you know, I think from knowing and being affected by someone who's committed suicide, I would never ever go down that path. So I know that, you know, the journey that I've been through has made me definitely stronger, you know. I do have my off days, but so does everyone.
Absolutely. And one of the things that part of the strength of this campaign, and everybody who's been coming through and taking part, is the fact that everybody has mental health, both good mental health and bad mental health, and we're all sort of on a sliding scale on that day, and people aren't really alone, you know. Can I just ask you, because you said you get a lot of inboxes from people saying how do they come out, etc. Do you mind sharing that journey with you? How did you realise who you were in terms of your sexuality?
How I came out.
Yeah,
of course. I mean, it's quite a funny one, to be honest with you, but I'm a lucky one. You know, I've got a really supportive mother. So basically, I lied to my mum for ages, basically saying that I had a girlfriend called Natalie. Right. And then just one day, I was 16, I was like, Mum, do you know Natalie? She went, yeah. I went, she's really called Nathan. And she just fell to the floor laughing, like. But I knew I was gay from the age of 11 from seeing Keanu Reeves in Speed. I felt sick watching it. But I knew I was gay. I can remember, even when I was younger than that, asking my mum about Freddie Mercury, being like, knowing that he was gay, asking if he was going to go to hell. Because I knew there was something different with me. Right. And Mum was like, no, if God loves you, you're going to be going to heaven no matter what kind of thing. So I've always known that Mum was somebody I could go to. It was just me knowing the right time to come out.
Right. And were you from a religious background at all? Or?
I went to Catholic school. So my mum, she's Glaswegian Protestant. But I wouldn't say strongly, but I think I am myself. Like it's just me that's quite religious. And my mum, knowing that I'm quite religious, she's obviously said that God loves you, but she's given me the right answer basically to make me feel better.
Well, that's lovely. So, and how did other people? So the good thing is you had your family to support you, you know, when you did come out. How did people around you respond to you when you came out?
So it was mixed. So basically in school, in Catholic school, a very sort of nuclear sort of circuit of friends, they stuck by me, but then the sort of people that I classed like other kind of friends at school, they kind of turned and they would put things up against the walls against me, and then the guys that used to bully me in school ended up like becoming friends, kind of being like, I respect you, actually come out. So it was weird, but I even had the school chaplain trying to give me a leaflet on becoming a monk. Like, so like saying we do love you, but you do know you're going to hell, and I was like, cheers, miss.
I went to a Catholic school too, and which was probably the, you know, even a little less forward thinking than the one you're doing, and there is that juxtaposition, and I think if you do have a faith or if you're spiritual, it can be really difficult for people coming to terms with.
I mean, Catholicism is completely against it, like, so I was like throwing myself against the wall. But in a way, like, I'm saying that I came out, I actually told one girl when I came back off the Easter holidays, and then everybody knew that I was gay, and then I thought I'd just roll with it, and I was just like, you know, there we go. And people were coming up to me like I came back in, and we were just like, oh, we've heard, well done, you know. I'm just like, you were like punching me 2 weeks ago, like, what's the crack? But yeah.
But isn't that funny that you got that level of respect for stepping into who you were?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So once you left school, how did your life sort of take off?
Without sounding cheesy, but that's when I started living like my real life. Right. You know, I started going to the gay scene in Newcastle, you know, seeing how like other people like me lived. I haven't really had any difficulties with regards to homophobia, etc. But I am actively vocal against homophobia. Right. You know, but I've never personally first-hand experienced it. I've gone off on a tangent, yeah, sorry.
No, this is perfect, because I think it's not always a bad message for people. Coming out doesn't have to always be as hard as... depends on your environment and the people around you.
I think people need to know that, like, you know, there isn't always a sob story of coming out as being gay, but there's always going to be people out there to help you if you are going through that. Yeah.
So who either helped you, or who would you recommend to talk to? If somebody said you've got a young girl, young guy looking at this now, seen this video, and they're struggling, where would you say turn to? Who should they talk to?
Come talk to me.
Come and talk to you.
Come talk to me.
Open invite. We'll just come and talk to you. And
the name's in the bottom now.
All right. So we'll put the name in the bottom there for you. And because you could be absolutely swamped by things. So who else do you think they should talk to?
I mean, there's a lot of gay forums out there. So where gay communities on social media, where, you know, I'm part of, and I don't actively input, but I do read what's happening. And if someone puts a status up saying that they're struggling, there's about 80 comments straight away, people are supporting them, or
that's great.
You know, so it's just basically searching your search tool, or even if you search whatever country from, there's the Mr. Gay England, Mr. Gay Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and all of the former Mr. Gays we're all on those pages, so we get inboxes quite a lot on them as well. Quite a lot of them are rude, like, but but I'd probably say about 1 in 10 someone's actually asking for advice. Right.
Well, that's fabulous, because I think maybe some people don't quite understand how the Mr. Gay competitions work, but actually you're more than sort of basically a pretty face. This is you're coming out with really hard issues. Yeah.
The England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales Mr. Gays, it's like you've got to have. It's not just walking on the catwalk and doing photo shoots and stuff. You've actually got to have exams in LGBT history, politics, laws and rights for European countries. You've got to know your stuff, basically. And as I said before, like I travelled over to Sweden last year to educate all the delegates on how to deal with, to give advice to people that want help, basically. So
that's fabulous. Now,
empowerment as well as all that.
Well, I think this is a really important point. The more information out there, the better. Now, the other exciting thing that you're involved in is you're involved with a mental health well-being app that's being launched. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
So the company that I'm part of is a group called the Alpha Complex. We're a group of guys who basically think that no matter if you're male, female, gay, lesbian, trans, everyone has like alpha energy in them. Basically, everyone has good days and bad days, so we try to sort of simplify it by saying you have the alpha zone and the beta zone. So this app that we're launching is a sort of it's a zone tracker, so you monitor yourself and how you're feeling, if you're feeling good, if you're feeling bad, why you're feeling bad, and then eventually it will tell you, right, on this day you were in this zone because you were around these people, or it was something you do at work, and you know, we're kind of wants to kind of like advise yourself on what you should either stop seeing certain somebody or make a change in your life, kind of thing. Eventually it will be sort of self-help videos and fitness videos, because healthy body, healthy mind. So, but at first we're just doing this sort of self-tracker at the moment.
Right, so, well, good luck with that, and you know, we'll share the details on that as it comes out. Can I just, as a final question for you, so now you mentioned what we touched on, everybody has highs and lows and ups and downs and stuff. How do you look after yourself?
I've got my one person that I tell everything to, where I have good days and bad days, and this person also confides everything in me as well. So I think it's always good to have like your friends, basically, or have that. For me, it's that one person that I tell everything.
Right.
And has to put up with my, I'm not going to swear, has to put up with my tantrums and my stuff like that. So that's what I do.
That's brilliant. Well, look, Joni, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thanks. And good luck with the app, and if we can help, we're definitely happy to do so.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Cheers.
Cheers.